I grew up in the angsty late 90s to early 2000s. As such, my teenage years were filled with edgy depression talk and what I called cynicism. Cynicism is a philosophical school of thought based in skepticism. What I practiced wasn't actual cynicism, though. I wasn't Diogenes, the father of cynicism. I was Emo Peter from Spider-Man 3. The world sucks and I'm above it all. No, what I practiced back then was actually something called pessimism. If you aren't aware, pessimism is the philosophical school of thought that there is no hope for the future, that everything and everyone is doomed to fail. Nothing can ever be good, and good things might as well not exist. And I hate pessimism, for several reasons. One of them being the fact that pessimism is not grounded in reality. To be a pessimist, you have to metaphorically stick your head in the sand, and more often than not, up your own ass, because it requires you to just ignore the good things around you. And I'm not so privileged I think the world is great or anything, especially in America where I live. Life is absolutely tragic. People are losing rights they fought hard for. You can work for 60 hours a week and barely afford to live. Our country has been run by ancient dust-coughing geezers for the better part of 2 decades, and we are still feeling the negative effects of policies put into place by a fucking lunatic who inhabited the Oval Office from the goddamn 80s. That being said, as much as life sucks, I still have good things. I have you guys who have blessed me with the ability to pay half my monthly bills off by making videos about a fucking video game. I have someone I love very dearly, even if she doesn't return those feelings. Her and I are still very close, and that's the most I can ask for. I have a cat who's my entire world, and I'm not going hungry, exactly. Life isn't good, but it's not shit either. You see how it's possible to have observed the good and the bad and come out to a realistic portrayal of life? The other reason I hate pessimism is because most of the time, it's done for the purposes of bringing everyone else around you down. It's similar to my dislike of optimism, where everything is always good and bad things never matter. It's two extremes I can't get behind. But optimism doesn't really exist in the Dead by Daylight community, not in any tangible sense that I've seen. Actually, for the most part, people are pretty down the middle, falling into the philosophical school of realism, acknowledging the good and the bad as they come and go. I think pessimism just so happens to be the loudest within the community. A great example of this is how every patch update I do, no matter how good the changes are, there's always someone, somewhere, who finds a way to try to make it seem like shit. Someone somewhere who has to bring everyone else's good mood down. Behavior didn't fix this, so it's not a good patch. Why haven't they nerfed this though? Why haven't they buffed this? I can't give any goodwill because it's behavior. That last one in particular pisses me off because how is your hate boner for behavior so bad you absolutely refuse to acknowledge anything good? And it's also really fucking weird the way that y'all's hate boner is so bad that you see any acknowledgement of good as quote-unquote writing behavior's dick. I have been accused of being a bootlicker for behavior despite the fact that I've been very critical of them on everything that they've done that is wrong. I too hated the 7.7.0 patch and its absolute game-breaking bugs, the flashing white screen that gives me an epileptic seizures, and a great many other things that came with it. But when I was willing to acknowledge that they pushed out a patch relatively quickly in terms of game development time, people were still in the comments being all fucking weird about it. And then when I talked in the 8.0.0 patch about how there's a lot of good things coming and you need to just put your fucking pitchforks down, people were accusing me of being a bootlicker because I dared to say there were good things behavior was doing. Pessimism is also present in the ever so prevalent tribalism within the Dead by Daylight community. Every fucking patch! No matter how many things got nerfed and or buffed, some mouth-breathing head up their ass glue huffer goes into my comment section to cry and moan and whine about how behavior doesn't care about insert main here. Like, oh my god, how can they hate us so much? Like, please shut the fuck up. This is constant whining, everything your side of the fence gets so much as even a slight nerf, or how the other side of the fence got a slight buff is tiresome. It's frustrating to read, to listen to, and you honest to God look fucking stupid when you say it. I once had someone ask me, why are you so hostile to your audience? And I want to make this clear, if you are so pessimistic you cannot see the good in changes that happen in the game, you refuse to acknowledge anything that is healthy or wonderful, I don't want you in my audience. I don't want you around me. I have enough of my own depression to deal with from my own brain. I don't need you trying to ruin I and everyone else's mood with your constant fucking complaining. That's why I get annoyed when people accuse me of doing nothing but complaining, because I don't. I'm reasonable about things I talk about, and even when I do complain, I do my absolute best to provide solutions so we can try to have an open and honest discussion about the issues we see within the game. It's okay to not like every change everyone else likes. It's okay to disagree if changes are healthy. What's not okay is attempting to bring everyone else down to your shitty mood because you, for some reason, continue to play and comment on a game you supposedly hate. The constant pessimism is exhausting. I remember when the visual heartbeat came to the game. It was something us in the hard of hearing community wanted for a long time, so we could like play the game and shit. And the amount of people who met such an amazing and groundbreaking change with, well, it's about time. Okay, but what about this problem? Ugh, took you long enough. Like, holy fucking shit, could you lift your fucking head up, Eeyore, and smile for once in your goddamn life? I've seen so many people I greatly respect participate in this kind of shit. One of my closest friends in the space said that the 7.7.0 patch ruined, quote, all of the goodwill behavior has built up. Really? All of it? I'm not saying the patch wasn't bottom tier dog shit, but they fixed most of it as fast as they could, and that's another thing. People who come into my comment section saying ignorant shit like, this should have been fixed in 2 days, shut up. This kind of attitude from someone who has zero idea of how coding or game development works, it's inane. I really don't think you understand how deep and complex code and game development is. Coding is not pressing the big red button that says fix the problem. It is going through hundreds, if not thousands, probably tens of thousands of lines of code and trying to find the one period, comma, space, word, underscore, whatever the case it was, that broke everything. And sometimes it's not even a part of the game's code, but they can't figure that out until they troubleshoot the entire thing. Until they go through the entire game's code, they can't figure out whether or not it's server side or it's something with people's internal devices or something like that. They need to be able to test literally everything. So no, most of the time these problems will not be fixed in 2 days. Most of the time it's going to take a week or even 2 weeks to fix these problems. And that's why as well you saw Behavior putting out a thing that said, hey, let us know what's causing this or where you're running into these problems so that we can take a look at what's actually happening. The last thing I want to address is every time a change or concept or idea for the game is brought up, the fucking choir of, this is nice, but Behavior would never do this because insert reason here, is just so fucking annoying. Not even just on my own content, just everywhere. Every time I see someone talk about a license they'd like to see, or someone bring up a cool perk idea or a killer concept or whatever, it's just met with a chorus of fucking losers actually-ing their way to destroy this person's excitement for no goddamn reason. Altogether, the constant pessimism is a part of the reason why you guys don't see me in my comments as much as I used to be, because at some point I just stop reading the comments. I get tired of getting bummed the fuck out, and so after the first hour or two of the video being live, or me waking up in the morning, I just skim through to make sure no bigotry is happening in the comments, and then I move on, because my mood gets ruined by all of this nonsense. And that's all I have for you guys today. Sorry for the more ranty video. I promise you this one was scripted as well. It's just, this has been on my mind for a while, but let me know what you think down below. And as always, a great big special thank you to my channel members listed on screen now. You want to find out how to become a channel member today, get awesome perks like seeing videos early, merch discount codes, and more, then please click that join button down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Did you like the background footage and want to see more? Then head on over to my second channel, The Kaiser VODs, where you can see full gameplay, stream compilations, me reacting to your Dead by Daylight clips, and more. We also have a new short that goes up every single day along with the full games. We'll see you over there. Link is in the description.